All right. Here we are. Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Hi, guys.
Hola. Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
This is the Wednesday live stream, Talking Heads, quote unquote. And you can quote me on the quote, I guess. And we're joined today with a special guest, Seasalt Flavour.
Hi.
And she has her...
Joe.
No, hold on.
All of that pre-gaming.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. No one should have to be subject to being Joe.
Chose to play me.
Hold on.
Oh, the joys of live television, everybody.
We
do it live.
There we go.
What's up, Normcore Gaming? Welcome to the game.
Hanging out the Game Room pub.
Rhino, Megals, Ola.
All right. Oh my gosh, I gotta get into that. All right, so let me get a shout out for your channel. Oh my gosh, pulling up your channel right now because usually we could just do it in the thing and see. So one moment. There we go. All right, so you kind of just I know you play a lot of horror games, and you're kind of planning on playing that tonight also, correct?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I really love horror games a lot.
Okay. What got you started on Twitch? And I put the link for your channel in there, so everyone check out Seasalt Flavour. Follow her, please.
So, I actually have only been streaming since September, but one of my family members got into it. And so, I was kind of hearing about it a lot, and I was interested in doing it. So when I started out, I kind of started out like a variety streamer because I didn't know anything about how Twitch worked or what I wanted to do. What I quickly discovered is that if you're a variety streamer and you're not very good at video games, or if you don't have some sort of gimmick, you're probably gonna not get many viewers. And honestly, my streams weren't that interesting. I'm not good at video games. I'm average. But what I remembered is that people, I'm afraid of horror games. I actually had never played a horror game before I started playing them on Twitch. But I knew that I liked watching people play horror games because I was afraid to play them. But, as a streamer, I thought it'd be really fun for my viewers to watch me experience all these new horror games for the first time. And it gives me some level of bravery to have people watching me. So I'm thankful for that aspect of it. But yeah, so before this, streaming is new for me. Horror games are new for me. The whole genre, though, horror, it's been something I've been interested in since I was a kid. So I'm trying to do more discussion streams and stuff too. Things that aren't necessarily about gaming, but still are under that horror umbrella.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of hard being as a variety streamer. You got to have something to grab people and let people know that you're there. Let them know that I'm not just someone who's sitting here playing video games, staring off into the darkness, not responding to you, not respecting what you're saying. And I feel like that's kind of one of the big problems that a lot of people have is it's hard to interact with people as a variety stream. And I think you doing horror is really awesome. I know you play a lot of Phasmophobia, and I only enjoy watching people play Phasmophobia because their natural reactions is so funny. It's just a hard game for me to play because it's just I know these are puzzles. I don't know. I'd much rather watch other people play it, honestly. I think that's
scared.
Yeah.
Because I know I get jump scared pretty easily and stuff like that. So I'm glad to know I'm not the
Yeah.
Obviously, from people randomly knocking, I get scared. So.
Dude, yeah, actually, the things that end up scaring me the most in that game are when somebody's mic messes up and they talk louder than I'm expecting or something like that. That's what makes me jump.
Yeah. So I guess G-Ray, thank you so much for that 2-month sub. Appreciate your support so very much.
And I mean, I really do because you don't just do horror, you do talk show type stuff, and I've seen that here and there, and you kind of do that with Watch Whitney and Oh man, I'm blanking on people.
Mr. Wakanu and Mr. Wrong.
Mr. Wrong, yeah. Mr. Wrong is really awesome. In fact, he's in the chat right now. Thank you, Mr. Wrong.
Mr. Wrong, hello.
Yeah, that's also a new thing. So, I'm really into like the idea of doing podcasts, but I'm not great at like the editing stuff. What I found is that doing live streams, I can still kind of build that podcast type environment. And because I'm not great at video games, I thought it would be fun to do like this discussion thing to talk about horror. And Mr. Wrong, Mr. Wakanu, and Watch Whitney were like some of the first people in this horror streaming community I'm trying to build. So they were the first people I asked, and they're kind of building on all those ideas with me, which I really appreciate.
Okay, all right. I know sometimes it's a little bit hard for you to nail down your schedule because of stuff going on with you. What days do you try to stream?
Oh, okay. So that's a good question. Right now, I'm doing a bunch of like I'm ramping up a lot of things. So I've got this partnership I'm trying to get started, and then I've got 3 other discussion streams I'm trying to get started. So I haven't been streaming that much lately. I would say generally you'll find me streaming Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday is what I'm trying to do. But I'm probably not going to get to that point again until sometime next month because of the other things I'm trying to get going. But once I get going, I have some fun discussion streams planned, and that I'm going to start horror games again.
Okay. And I've seen you on Doe's Minecraft, and he was trying to have a date with you on Minecraft.
I don't know where that came from. So that was pretty hilarious. But like it was right after we had like this meeting about the new partnership initiative I'm trying to get started. And then I was talking to him about it, and I was like, hey, so what do you think of all that? And somehow within like 5 lines of text, he was like, do you want to do a co-stream with me really quick? Do you want to play Minecraft? I'll teach you how to play. I want to do this weird bit. And he's like, you need to be my straight guy. You know, the guy that's like really stoic through all of it while he tells a bunch of jokes. And I'm not good at comedy, not like that, not like improv like he is. So it turned into something pretty bizarre pretty quickly. But it was kind of fun. It was fun. I like doing stuff like that, brand new things. And Doe's doing new things all the time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to be in on it.
Yeah, and speaking of new initiative, so we were part of that meeting too. It was Saltshakers, and I can honestly say that you're the first person that's ever really approached us and wanted us to be part of something. We've been just trying to build our own, and I think a lot of people get caught up in being super competitive, and I don't think that's a way to grow. We have never thought that. We try to showcase people, try to let everyone know we're here to help everyone. If we grow, cool, but if everyone else grows with us, we're awesome, and that's cool too. And you kind of approach us with the same thing, and you want to talk a little bit about it, what it's called.
Yeah. So the reason why I started that is because like I'm a new streamer, like I said, and I got like a whole bunch of backstory on this, but trying to like keep brief. I did used to work in like a really corporate environment. I worked for Career Builder, which is like a Fortune 500 company, and I worked directly for a CEO for a period of time. And he was the first person who really taught me that, like, you know, the reason why you're struggling as somebody who's running a team is that you're not partnering with all these other teams that whose work impacts you. And yeah, you're kind of brought up to think that like you need to be competitive and stuff. And I've never really been a competitive person, but even in that situation, like I hadn't really thought I had he empowered me to feel like I could reach out to these people and be like, hey, let's work together on this. Neither one of us want to struggle. And so that's kind of how I do everything now. And now that I'm taking streaming more seriously, we're like I'm really making it into my job is what it is. Yeah. So I'm trying to find other streamers that like have the same values that I do, which is, you know, valuing friendship over competition and working together over like stepping on everybody to get somewhere. Yeah. And also that we have like similar content, or that we have the same level of compassion for our viewers, things like that. Because I feel like I can't do it on my own. I know I can't do it on my own. I'm always like really overwhelmed by the weird initiatives I'm starting, or the weird discussion streams I'm trying to kick off. So to have a group of people that I can like lean on is really helpful for me. Yeah. That's the selfish part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, the initiative, like the Saltshakers, like you when it seemed when he brought it to us, it was just like we wanted to know what it was about, and we wanted to like make sure that we understood it 100% and trying to bounce off ideas about it. And because when it was said to me, when you said it to me, I was just like, hold on. And I repeated it to the guys, and they're like, what? So we had to have a one-on-one, well, a 1-on-5 meeting with you just to make sure we're all on the same page. And
it's only where it's at because of you guys, because like I just wanted to do something. Like all my friends have these communities, I'm never in them, but they stop by into my community. But I don't feel like I have time, and ADHD does not allow it for me to step in and have all these like brief conversations with a bunch of people. So I was like, I had to pick like 10 people that I really love and appreciate, who I want to share communities with, who like I'm willing to say, okay, I can go into these 10 communities, or I can do something for them if they're willing to do something for me. And I brought it to you guys. You guys were like, okay, so we're all partnering together. And I was like, oh my God, what? That's a great idea. And then I had to rewrite the whole thing.
I'm sorry for the extra work.
My planning abilities are sometimes there are things that I feel like should have been obvious that just they hit me out of left field, and I'm like, that's brilliant. So that was one of those moments.
Yep. I understand that completely. And the reason Chris reached out was like, hey, we need to talk about this, is because we've had an attempt at a partnership with somebody else in the past that just wanted to steamroll everything we were doing. And it's like, we don't care that much, really. Like we did, but we didn't. And the other thing was like, we'd have to give up a lot of our independence from what we were doing. And we just weren't looking for that like at all, So we just really wanted to find out. And it turns out, hey, this is exactly what we are. Not exactly what we're doing, but we're already about that life. You know what I mean? So why not keep it going? Keep the party going.
I hate putting rules on things.
Definitely share the love.
Yeah. I want to be able to appreciate that other people are better at things than I am. And when I experience things that I think are difficult, or when I find something, I want to share that with other people so that they don't have to have the same experience to get there. A partnership, it doesn't mean that I have to like all of your ideas or you have to like all of my ideas. It's that I'm there to listen to your ideas and be like, here's why I do or don't agree, and I'll support you if you go forward with it, and then let me know what happens with it and bring that data back to me, and I'll change my mind later. Like it's not I don't want anyone to have any more power than the other person. I don't want to have a bunch of rules except to make people's lives easier. That's really the goal.
Yeah. And I mean, you've made that abundantly clear that you don't want to be the leader. You don't want to have someone, quote unquote, be the leader. You just want to have it kind of like a commune, I guess, is the way I would say it, because everyone's working together for a common goal to have fun, hang out and stream. And if you can shout each other out and just let each other know about the community that they're in, hey, that's great. And that's really all it is, honestly.
Yeah.
And we kind of jumped at the chance, honestly, because you've said it also, we don't necessarily have to do the same thing on stream. We don't have to be all about the same thing that we play, but we're all about community. We're all about lifting each other up. And honestly, that if you can find like people out there that want to help lift each other up, this is sounding like an infomercial. It's honestly how I feel.
We all build similar types of communities too. I feel like we draw the same types of people in. So this isn't just for us, but it's for our communities. So like it's COVID-19, nobody can go outside of their house. You have to wear a gas mask. It's crazy. So it'd be really nice if all these people could just hang out together in some capacity, and they get to make friends. They get to find new streamers. It's all about making connections to make each other's life easier or happier or whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm too lazy for rules is what it comes down to.
No, you're officially my boss now, so
yeah.
I'll be sending all grievances to you.
Everybody's on vacation from here forward. There we go.
Buckets, thank you for them biddies. Holy shit, 300.
Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that.
I like that little pog guy. That's amazing.
So we did post that we were going to be asking you questions, and we got one serious question and one just Jordo trolling.
I think that was a serious question.
Okay, all right. So, Ronathan
Thank you,
PXPX
Jordo.
from the Discord asks, what are your top 5 movies and TV shows of all time? I know it's a really hard question.
But I thought about it beforehand. Okay, so in no particular order, I guess, How to Train Your Dragon, the anime Fruits Basket, the anime Haikyuu, Thor Ragnarok, it's super fun, and what was the last one? Insidious, the Insidious series, horror series. But so the last 2 are kind of just for funsies, but Fruits Basket, Haikyuu, and How to Train Your Dragon have some. They give me the feels, you know, like
How to Train
especially
Your Dragon does for sure.
It's so good. It's such a good movie, and it's got a 2 disabled main characters, and to me that's like really huge. And just the whole like lesson that you learn from the movie. There's no like one particular bad guy. You can't really tell who's good or bad. It's just like a battle of survival and connection and listening. Like it's a beautiful movie. Those are the kind of things that I get really into, is like, I guess, animated movies with all of their really good like morals and life lessons. That's the stuff I like a lot.
Samesies. Now, Mr. Wrong 842 wants you to clarify which fruits baskets you're talking about, the original or the recent one?
Okay, so I started with the original. That was the first one I ever saw. It was in 8th grade. I was like 12 or 13. The new one is far superior because it follows the manga a lot more closely. But basically the lessons from Fruits Basket in general, while acknowledging that the newest one is good as shit, like so good. And it's beautiful, and yes. The answer is yes.
Yes.
It's not one or the other. The answer is yes.
So I don't know if you guys have thought about that. What's your top 5 movies and TV shows?
I have so many.
Yeah, and you can't just put it down to each specific genre, because I know you like to do that.
Yeah, I can't. That's so hard. I don't know, man. I'm really bad at that. I usually remember things that I really had fun with, or are recent because they're fresh in my mind.
Supernatural.
Like,
they're saying you lied. She said, Mr. Wrong saying you lied about one. All around it's Supernatural.
Okay, Supernatural. Let's talk about Supernatural for a second here. It's my mom's favorite TV show of all time. I haven't even seen the last 2 seasons, but I do have a Supernatural tattoo for my mom. My mom and I have matching ones. And I did, in your questions area of your Discord, your questions channel, I did post a question that was, what is the weirdest thing you've ever done for cheese? And that is a Supernatural story, if you guys want to hear it.
Oh, I'm for it.
Okay. So, I was at a Supernatural convention with my mom, and we paid like $100 a person for this extra thing called, I can't remember what it's called. It was like some like drinks with Misha or cocktails with Castiel. So the guy that plays Castiel, Misha Collins, the way it would work is there were like a few tables of 10 people, and he would come to each table and he would spend 10 minutes with them. So we were one of the last tables he got to, and I had already decided early on in this thing that I needed to be drunk if I was going to talk to this guy. So I pounded these cocktails. They weren't good, but I did pound them efficiently. By the time he got to us, I was so hammered that I monopolized that conversation. At one point, I screamed. I told him that we were talking about cheese. I don't remember how we got there, but I know that I screamed at him, "You're Misha fucking Collins. You can get us a bowl of cheese." And then he said, "Why, yes, I am." And that was it.
Wow.
I didn't get cheese, though, but I did shout that at him.
Oh, my God.
That's great.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome. Like, I think I've only met like one famous person that I've said something crazy to, and that was I guess they're not even that famous. So if you're a comic book artist, you know who it is. So it's Jim Lee. Right? I met Jim Lee, and I got a pop signed, and he's like, "What are you gonna do with these? Are you gonna sell them?" Because it was me and my buddy had the exact same one, and I I was like, no, I'm gonna keep it in my bedroom next to my bed. And he was just like, okay. And I was like, I don't know why I said that. I was like, I just said I'm gonna keep it in the shelf or somewhere else besides by my bed. But I don't even have it by my bed. But it was embarrassing to say that. And afterwards, I was like, stupid idiot, why'd you say that? But yeah,
man. I love it.
That was embarrassing for me.
Not so bad. And are rhinos real? What is that about?
Are they? Look at them. They're like giant dinosaurs. There's no way that anybody wakes up in the morning, walks outside, and they see like a rhino in their backyard, and they're like, "Oh, that's typical day for me. Rhinos are totally real." Rhinos, it can't be. Same with hippos, man. Hippos are on that same thing. Giraffes, like, why? That thing, a neck that's super long. But was it a hologram, or was it a? Did you touch it? Did you ride it?
I don't think you're supposed to touch them. I'll be honest with you. That's very dangerous.
Well, at the
Did
Dallas
you have an
Zoo,
intelligent conversation with it?
Well, they don't talk back, but at the Dallas Zoo, they have this platform where you can feed the giraffes sticks and leaves and stuff. So
It licked you?
It did. It touched me, and it was gross. But yeah, it happened.
Right. I'll take giraffes off the list. I believe in giraffes. But have you ever been licked by a rhino?
No,
they're dangerous as fuck. Like, honestly.
They're giant dinosaurs. It's not. I can't even with that. But and rhinos used to be something that I used to, make this joke about. But like, really, hippos. Can we just talk about how terrifying hippos are for a second?
Hippos are terrifying.
Yeah.
I only learned that they were this terrifying in the last couple years, but yeah, they're the most dangerous animal.
Hey, you don't mess with a hippo. They look cute and everything like that, but you don't mess with a hippo.
Yeah, they're super dead. They're the deadliest animal in Africa.
They kill 50 people a year.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Other than
stealthy in the water.
All wide, their tusks that they have. Ugh.
Their teeth are the wrong shapes. I don't understand why they exist.
I've not seen the new Jumanji, but I can imagine.
I did sneak your little chat here, and I did see that somebody asked what my favorite Supernatural episode is.
Oh,
so
question. Oh yeah, there it
is. I think it's the fan fiction episode. Ooh, so hard. The fanfic. No. It's the one where I forget what it's called, but it's like Jensen and Jared. Okay, Sam and Dean end up being teleported to this other world where they're actually their real life versions of themselves. Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki. That's my favorite episode. I forget what it's called, but breaking the fourth wall. That's a great episode.
Legion K says Scooby-Doo crossover. Mr. Wrong says the musical episode. Yeah, those are the two that people have said.
Scooby-Doo episode all day long.
The French mistake.
I did see the Scooby-Doo episode. Scooby-Doo
That's
episode
so good.
Yeah, that was fine.
I've never seen Supernatural, so I'm sorry. I told the city.
I've had everyone tell me I need to watch it. I'm like, okay, how many episodes are there? There's 1 million. No, not gonna do.
You know how many? You know how many I've seen?
How many?
I've seen the Scooby-Doo episode.
That's it. One more than me.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
the French mistake. Hold on, the French mistake is where they play themselves. That reminds me of Face Off, and that's one of my favorite movies, just because those two play they act like assholes about each other. Nicolas Cage and John Travolta, and they just try to act like each other. Yeah. Oh, so good. But yeah, that's one of my favorite movies for just comedy reasons.
So, Seasalt, you said you've been into horror since you were a kid, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Why were you into horror as a kid? What got you going?
I come from a strange family that was already into really supernatural stuff. And I don't even know if I really comprehended that much as a child. But I remember my childhood best friend. I was somewhere between 6 and 8 years old. And she lived in this weird house. It was old house. It was made of stone. Or the outside was all stone. But she had this basement that to this day is the scariest basement I've ever seen. And there were parts of it that she said she saw ghosts in. And she would try to get me to go in them. And I wouldn't. And she would make fun of me for being such a chicken. And I remember like always feeling like I needed to be strong. I needed to not be scared of ghosts. Since I was a kid, I don't even know that was because of my family, but my mom sees ghosts. I've never seen a ghost. I'm a skeptic. I consider myself to be a skeptic. I'm really interested in the idea of seeing things that are outside of what we consider to be like normal or natural. But my mom sees ghosts all the time. She talks about it all the time. And it's always like just scary shit. She said to me the other day, I was visiting her, and she told me that she no longer believes that houses can be haunted. She thinks it's people that are haunted. And she started going into this story about like how she feels like, you know, she's living somewhere new. It's like a brand new place. Like, why is it that she's still getting haunted by things? And it's always just her. Like, and that's just, to me, like, I don't wake up in the morning. My biggest problem is being haunted by stuff. So it's really hard to empathize with like, my mom's trying to figure out where ghosts come from because they're talking to her all the time. Like, what a strange thing. That's some of why I'm interested in it, though, is because it's not just her. You know, it's a lot of people. I know Mr. Wrong has a lot of experiences, and I hear about it. And I think, like, you know, as a skeptic, I feel like I don't ever dismiss anything. But it's like I can't even imagine, and I wish I could just know like what they were experiencing and to try and figure out why. You know, it's wild. The whole genre of horror is something that's like entertaining, and then like the whole culture of horror, things that are haunted, things that people experience, it's huge, and we don't know why it happens, and there's a million reasons why it happens. There's no way to debunk all of it.
Yeah.
Agreed. I've had a lot of friends that claim supernatural experiences, that they see things. I personally have. I don't think I've ever seen anything that I would think is a ghost or anything like that. I have seen things in the nighttime that freaked me out, like, but it's that pareidolia effect. I think that's what it's called, when you see something that's not actually there. Your eye just sees it as something, and then once it has a chance to focus and actually make out what it is, it's something totally different.
Why are you trying to make out with it, bro?
You know, gotta get that action in, son. We used to have this weight machine in our room, and it had like a shirt hanging from it, and I forgot it was there. So in the middle of the night, I woke up and the street light was coming through the window, and it looked like somebody was there, and there was a face. And I remember, like, I was probably 12, maybe, sitting up, grabbing my blanket, like, oh shit, you know what I mean, freaking out. And then it didn't move, and I was like, well, if it was gonna get me, it would move by now. And then my eyes got, you know, adjusted to the light, and I realized it was just a shirt hanging there. So I don't know if stuff like that happens and people just don't realize it, or they just want to hold on to the idea that it's something else. But I don't know. I think some of that stuff is real. It's really hard, like you said, to debunk every little thing. And so I'm for it.
I've had some weird experiences myself, and I don't think I've ever talked about it on stream. I think I've told Rob about this a couple times. The reason I'm an insomniac this is going to be kind of like seem convoluted and everything like that. But when I was junior in high school, I had this dream where one of my friends got hit by a car and sideswiped, and they died. And it was so vivid and everything like that. And I told all my friends, be careful, everything you do, and this, that, and the other. In October, the 17th of that year, my best friend at the time, he got sideswiped by a car and he died. And so it was a very shocking moment for me. And a lot of my friends were freaked out by me at that time. And then I also had a premonition when I was sleeping one time that someone that I thought was my dad or my grandpa was dying from a heart attack. And it turned out, I'm not going to say that I thought that I could tell the future or anything like that, but my uncle died of a heart attack in the same position, and his body was laying there as they described it to me, what I thought in my head or in my dream. So that kind of freaked me out. And I haven't been able to have actual dreams until just recently. And that was from when I was like 19 till I'm 39 now. And I just started having actual dreams the last year. So nothing else weird has happened since then. So yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that my mom talks about. So like when my grandmother was sick, she's sick with Alzheimer's. There was no reason to think that she might die or anything. She just had Alzheimer's. She was in a nursing home. And my mom woke up one night, middle of the night, and she was choking on, my mom has asthma. She was choking on Aquanet hairspray, and she could like taste it and smell it. Aquanet hairspray is like a very distinct smell, and it's terrible. It's really terrible. My grandma used it all the time. And so she woke up my dad, and she was like, I think my mom's going to die. And my dad was like, you just had a dream. Go back to sleep. And later that day, sure enough, my grandma passed away. That she had developed pneumonia or something. So she passed away from complications of pneumonia. And it's just like, how did stuff like that happens to her all the time? She has these dreams that are like, she'll get like a feeling. And, you know, there are some times where she has these types of dreams and nothing happens. So it's not like it's not both ways, but it's just, sometimes it's spooky. I guess that's the best word for it. Sometimes it's just like, I don't know. I can't say anything about that because obviously I know that it happened. And you've talked to me about it before the event, and then the event occurred, and like I can't dismiss it, but at the same time, I can't like, I don't know. The closest thing that I've ever had to something like that, it was recently. It was not last year, but the year before. There was a shark attack 2 Junes ago, and a girl her arm was bit off by a shark in front of her mother, and her mom, they were scuba diving, her mom tried to save her, but another shark bit her again. She ended up dying because of like the boat that they were with, like the scuba diving team. They didn't have anything to help people who are in like a dire situation like that. They didn't wrap it up. They didn't try to cut off the blood flow or anything. But anyway, so this girl passed away. She was like 19 years old. She was super young. And I read maybe 1 or 2 news articles about it that June. Then I didn't think about it again until that it was at the end of November. I was moving into my new house in Texas from an apartment that I was in temporarily. And that morning, about 5 or 6 a.m., I was kind of half awake because I knew the movers would be coming soon and I needed to get up. And I thought my husband said to me, do you remember Jordan Lindsay? And I remember like thinking, I like tapped him and I was like, did you just ask me if I remember Jordan Lindsay? And he didn't say anything, but he remembers me asking that. So I like texted it to him so that we could remember it later on, because at the time, like that name meant nothing to me. So then later that day, after all the moving and stuff was done, he came up to me. He's like, hey, gave me this weird text. Like, who the fuck is Jordan Lindsay? And so I looked it up, and that was the name of the girl that got bit by the shark that passed away. And it just was so unbelievable to me because, like, I'd maybe read 1 or 2 news. I don't remember even seeing her name. I don't even know if her name was on them. Like, Jordan Lindsay is such a specific name. I couldn't remember ever hearing it before. And that was the girl that got eaten by a shark in front of her mom. And so now I feel like really weirdly connected to this family. And so I donate to them monthly. You know, they set up like a fund. She was really passionate about animals, so I donate to that charity that they set up for her in her memory. But it's just, I remember my mom saying to me at the time, like, well, you know, it's almost Christmas. Maybe like she came to you because she wanted you to tell her family that it's all right. And like, I couldn't imagine being like, hey, you guys don't know me, but I had a weird dream about your daughter who died in a horrific way, and she wants you guys to know that she's okay. Like that just, I couldn't, no way.
Yeah.
But I do feel strangely, this is the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me. Nothing like that has ever happened before. And I can't really explain it, but I also, you know, maybe I did see the name somewhere and it just stayed in my brain and it was like some subconscious thing and it came up later. Like it's easy for me to throw it away.
Yeah.
What's up, Mike? You look like you got something on your mind there.
No. Just listening.
Okay. Just listening. Okay.
So let me clarify me having those dreams. I'm also the kid that fell on his head from 8 feet on the floor on concrete. So I don't know how far I should read into that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I did fall on my head as a child. So.
You unlocked some powers, man.
I guess. You're
the hero we needed.
And Jordo, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, if there's anything weird about me that's like supernatural, I consider myself to be an empath. Have I talked to you guys about that?
No.
So okay, My whole life, everyone's always made fun of me because I'm like really sensitive, like to the point where you can make like a silly joke to me when I was a kid and I would start crying. There were times where like my sister was getting in trouble and getting yelled at and she wouldn't be crying, but I would be crying even though I wasn't getting in trouble. Like this weird sensation of always being like super emotional about things that I can't even. And you know, I've grown a lot since I was a kid, and I've grown a lot since I was a young adult. And there were things that I used to suck about. I'm not like a particularly nice person, or I don't do anything special, but I do have like a lot of moments where I won't understand why I'm so angry. I won't understand why I'm so sad or so anxious. And somebody brought to my attention a couple of years ago that like, oh, maybe you're an empath and you're like feeling other people's emotions. And you know, when you look up like empath on the internet, like people think of that as like a really supernatural thing, like a special power. Whereas like from like a scientific perspective, it could be this person has like too many mirror neurons, and that's why I'm able to like, I feel like I can read people. And my husband, who's like the biggest skeptic that I know, he doesn't even question this because he's seen it where I can like make friends with strangers and like in line at a grocery store. He's always like, how the hell did you do that? And it's just 'cause like I can see when people are approachable. I can like, people come up to me too. People, I don't know if I give off something, but people come to me and tell me their life story, like stuff you shouldn't be talking to a stranger about that they'll feel comfortable talking to me about. And I'm fine with that because I know I can be trusted, but I don't know how they knew it. And I do have weird situations with that all the time, but it's almost like that's such a constant in my life where like I can tell when somebody is sad or angry from just like a few words in a text message or the way that their face twitches when we're like hanging out together. Like I can feel like I'm seeing something else that maybe they don't even want me to see, but I have this tendency to like get drunk and like talk to strangers and like ask them about their life stories. And my husband tells me I need to stop doing that because I'm like creeping people out. Not in the way that like I'm being a weirdo, but I am being a weirdo because it seems like I'm telling them things about themselves that they don't even know themselves.
Yeah. Real quick, this is going to be awkward just saying this right now. Nook's Asylum, thank you for the follow, and Buckets, thank you for the biddies. Thank you.
Nook, hi Nook. What's going on, Nook? Nook's great. We're gonna do a co-stream together. He's one of the people.
And
hell yeah.
I'm pretty good about hanging. Like I can talk to people out in the blue without knowing them, and I can carry on a conversation with them. And people think that Rob can, or they think Rob's going to be the outgoing, just talking person. Rob can talk, but he just knows me really well, and we talk a lot. So, but I can talk to anyone. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm pretty good about understanding people's emotions and all that. I mean, not to the fact that I open myself up enough to where people know that I can be someone that they can talk to. I feel like once you get to know me, yes, you know that, but not just a cold, just, hey, someone's going to come up, talk to me because they need to talk to someone. And that's what it may seem. Does it seem like that to you? Like they need to talk to someone about something going on, or they just want to get something off their chest?
Yeah, it's always when it happens in a way that stands out to me. It's always something like about like a health problem, or like a family member's health problem, or like something scary that's happening to them, that just stuff that I wouldn't feel comfortable talking to a stranger about, but they clearly did, to the point where it's like strange. It's like a coincidence, it happens a lot in the same sort of pattern. And
it also probably feels good to actually be able to listen to people, and it feels good to talk to people and make them feel better after you talk to them. And it gets that endorphin going where it's like, yeah, that was really cool. I really like doing that. You don't see how, oh my God, a weirdo just walked up to me, just start talking about just random things.
No, I like helping people, but it is kind of a blessing and a curse in a way, because a lot of times what the conversations that stand out the most to me, I feel like are the most impactful to me, are the ones where people don't ask me, but I can sense it and I feel like they need it, you know? And I know that it's like not my business, so I always try to be really careful. Like, hey, I can kind of see, it seems like maybe something's going on. You don't have to talk to me, but if you ever want to talk to me, I'm here. And, you know, like that type of question will prompt like this big, like paragraphs of text, all this stuff they wanted to get off their chest. I can just feel it. And so it's a blessing and a curse because it hurts in the way that I I can tell, and when I'm in a group of people, if somebody in that group is like pissed off or upset, and I feel like I'm always making these like preemptive, these moves to to diffuse the situation before it's even occurred, just because like I can kind of I can feel it. It's like weird, like a cat bristling when they're scared. It's like I feel it for other people, and I feel people's anxiety.
Yeah. I mean, that's really cool. I mean, when we first started talking, it wasn't about the Saltshakers at first. We kind of me and you've been kind of talking about maybe doing a Discord collab where we like just try to do a movie session or karaoke
night.
Yeah. I felt like me and you hit it off right away, and we could just talk and just get going. And I mean, we're not into the same kind of stuff, but yet we can chill and hang out and understand each other. I don't need Rob the Chris Whisperer with me talking to you because I feel like you understand me.
Yeah. I get that same sort of feeling from all of you, honestly. Like, you're all really easy to talk to.
Yeah. Mike is super easy.
We've been friends for years.
Mike is great.
Yeah, Mike is. He's the easiest person to talk to, and he's as warm and sunshiny. Oh, thank you for the gifted sub, Ronathan, to Nook's Asylum.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. Mike's like a warm blanket on a cold day. That's what Mike is. It makes you feel all nice and cozy every single time.
Yeah, Mike's so nice.
Yeah.
I'm probably okay in small doses.
Oh man, we've hung out with you for hours and hours on end, and we're still okay with you.
Give it a few.
All right.
I tend to like people that are more empathetic and people who are good at talking to people who are like open to people from different, different. Like all sorts of backstories. Like the disability thing has become really important to me. So and it's a weird thing. A lot of people, that's like their trigger word. I've had people actually tell me that talking about certain disability things are a trigger for them, and that it's hard because like I'm disabled, so that doesn't mean my life is a trigger for you. But I get it too. It is scary. It's like a taboo in our society. So when I can openly talk about that type of thing in front of people, and they aren't like freaked out by it, or they don't like apologize to me a bunch and tell me how they want to like help me and stuff. Even though I appreciate this stuff, I feel like the people I can talk to that are just like listening and like going along with it are just people that get me. People that get me as a person rather than like the things I identify as specifically.
Yeah, because you being disabled that's not you. It's just a part of your life, and
defined you.
Yeah, and the thing that always I've been around with someone when we were going into somewhere and talking to someone, and they were like, "Well, you don't look disabled, so I don't know." And it's like, what the fuck is? I looked up at the person who was like, "What the fuck is your problem?" Because it's just so like, disability means many things. That's the thing.
A lot of people don't realize that. They expect to be able to see something. So, I've been on plenty of forums with people who have my connective tissue disorder, Ehlers-Danlos hypermobility syndrome. They call it what's the word for it? It's like a secret illness. It's an invisible illness because you look like whatever people think is normal. So I've heard about people like parking in a disability parking spot or going to a specific line for people who are disabled, who've had people like yell at them really bad because you're not disabled, you shouldn't be parking there. And it's like, it sucks to not be a part of society because you're a disabled person, and then to not be allowed to be a disabled person because you don't look like what a disabled person is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
It's messed up.
What do they expect you to have, a hook hand or something?
I think, yeah, probably. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
or the one that goes like that and opens and closes.
Yeah. Yeah, like cool. Adventures from Babysitting. Yeah. You just want to be that cool guy. But
there's
I get that reference.
Oh man.
No,
sorry.
It's an old movie.
But Yeah, like that stuff is important to me because I feel like I hate people being left out of any situation. So I try to make my channel as a whole like very accessible, very friendly, and I try to always give people the benefit of the doubt on stuff. And like, you know, I appreciate that people come from all different types of backgrounds and ways of thinking. Everybody's brain works differently, everybody's body works differently. But it took me getting sick to feel that way. Like, I like I said, I've been sensitive or like pretty empathetic towards people my whole life, but it was only because of becoming disabled that I became as empathetic as I am today. I feel like I went from like this place where I was like kind of steadily rising to like just skyrocketing up from like the standpoint of empathy. And that's because like I said, I was working for like Career Builder and stuff. I was running a team. I was reporting to a CEO. Like I thought I was a badass. I thought I was invincible. I was working really hard. I was taking lots of Adderall, you know, just doing a bunch of different drinking all the time. I was going out drinking all the time with my friends. And when I got sick, it felt so scary, and it felt like everything changed. Like not only did I feel really terrible, but like I started to lose my career because I couldn't keep up anymore. My friends depended on me to be like the person that sets up all of our like hangouts outside of work, like gets everybody to the bar, gets everybody in a taxi to downtown Chicago, you know, whatever it was at the time. I couldn't be that either. So it felt like all these different parts of my life, I was seeing the people who like are truly my friends, the people who liked me for me, and then the people who just wanted to like party and stuff, and the people who just liked me because I was someone to look up to at work. Like there's so much that changed. And at first I was like really upset about a lot of it and bitter and like unhappy, and I thought I was just becoming like a worse version of myself. But after struggling through all that, like it's been almost 4 years, like 3.5 years, there was this point where I started to realize that all the different ways that I've had to like change my life, whether it was diet or like because of like my visual and neurological problems, like the way that I look at the world and function and the way I organize myself, all that had to change so that I could work better with this disability. I started to realize like some of this I was struggling with my whole life and didn't realize it. And now I feel like I'm 10 times more efficient than I was back then, even though I do have the illness that brings me down. You know, there's a lot of fatigue and stuff, but if I can just get past that fatigue, I feel like it's painful. It's a pain disorder, but like, I don't feel sad about it. I feel more sad about the fatigue. And I feel like overall, if I had to do everything over, I wouldn't change the fact that I got this disorder. I feel like it's something that made me realize how much people are suffering and how like left out of the world, how ignored people are that have disabilities, like, and the social stigmas that come with that. Like I want to get rid of all of it. So I feel like I have this almost obligation, and maybe I'm bipolar. I don't know, but like I do feel like I have this like calling.
Yeah,
maybe I am. I don't know. I do get like these manic episodes where I think like, you know, you got to push yourself as hard as you can like this because people are depending on you. People who are sick, people who need a voice. You can be that voice, but only if you don't fucking suck at everything. Like get your ass off the couch, dude. That's I mean that part of it's not very healthy, but that's how I've always done things. But like but it does feel important. It feels important to me. I don't like when people suffer because they're just like the rest of us.
Yeah, and
it's hard. Like just to like seeing people suffer and being different, and just to inclusion and everything like that. Like I'm the oldest of 5 boys, so I'm the big brother. So, you know, you always have that. You're always in protection mode for people that are younger and smaller. And I remember when I was a kid in school, I was the oldest in the class in one of my PE classes, and they would always pick on this one little boy. And this is just something that sticks out. I remember because I didn't know this kid like at all, and he didn't even speak English. I don't speak Spanish. So they would pick on him because he looked different. His mom dressed him kind of dorky. You know what I mean? He had like he always wore like a nice button-up shirt, and he wore slacks, and he wore that to school every day while everyone's running around in their t-shirt and their shorts and everything with their Ninja Turtle shirts and, you know, G.I. Joe, whatever. And so he was kind of, you know, was kind of goofy looking, and he didn't speak English, and, you know, he was kind of like, he just looked way different than everybody else. And the kids would pick on him, and like I would go over there and shoo him away and say, you need to leave him alone or I'm gonna kick your ass, sort of thing.
Nice.
And so like I did that for him because like I just did not like seeing that kid get picked on. So it made me feel bad because I was like, I'm not gonna be one of those guys that are picking on this little kid, even though eventually when I became a teenager and became a little shit, and I think everybody goes through that phase as they get older, you know, you start picking on like some people that are different, and then you regret it when you get older. But I think everyone goes through that phase where they see themselves as being a shit, and you're like, fuck, I wish I didn't do that. You regret it. But like I distinctly remember that, and I can like picture the kid in my head. Like I just felt really bad for him, and I think people need to stick up for people like that all the time. And it was another thing that sticks out to me when talking about inclusion is before, when I was married, I had a little cousin that had Down syndrome through my ex-wife. She had Down syndrome, and nobody in my family that I knew that I interacted with had Down syndrome. I had distant cousins that I didn't know that had it, but I didn't talk to them. They're down in South Texas. I'm up in North Texas, and if anyone's been in Texas, it takes like 8 hours to get from one point to the other, sometimes longer. So I didn't interact with them, but when I met her, she was such a sweet little girl. She didn't let anything stop her. She's full of energy, full of life, and she was just super happy all the time. You know what I mean? And it's like, how can anybody like hate anyone like this? Is a thing. Like I don't understand it. You know, it just makes me sad to think about people doing that. And so like I had to try to remove that word. Yeah. Remove the R word from my vocabulary as the years went on, because when you're growing up in the 80s and 90s, that was like a commonplace word. You know what I mean? So as you got older, like me, I'm like 39 now, or about to be 39. Like I don't use it like at all anymore. It might slip out and then I'll feel bad for saying it. So I had to switch that out with stupid or something like that. You know, because I don't mean it in a derogatory way. It's just that you grow up saying those things. But when you say stuff like that, you don't know who can hear it and how it'll affect them. And your intention isn't. It's just like that you say it because that's the way you were raised.
Yeah, and the whole entire thing of saying, because I think a lot of people, they try to fall under the defense of, well, they're older, they don't know any better. I don't think that's a good enough excuse anymore, and I don't think that's ever been a good excuse. But I think people are starting to realize you can't be fucked up by just throwing around slurs. It's a slur. When it comes down to it, it is a slur, and I'm not one of these people that tries to get triggered over everything and everything like that, but you need to be respectful. And I've always tried to be as respectful as I possibly could. And I've had friends that, they said things when I was younger and they regret it now. And I just never had it in me to want to say that stuff. And I'm not trying to white knight here or say anything like that, but I've always been about inclusion and always been understanding and tried to be understanding, because when it comes down to it, it's much easier to try to get into walk a mile in someone's shoes, or then just try to bring them down, because you feel like crap later. And it's something that I just never understood. Why try to bring people down? Just try to lift people up. And
I didn't understand a lot when I was a kid, and I feel like I engaged in bullying. I still probably to this day engage in some sort of bullying in some capacity, but it's being open about that and realizing that there are things that I'm wrong about that makes me able to change. Like no matter how PC you try to be and how much you try to like use the right words to not offend people, you still offend somebody. That's fine. But then you work with them to figure out like what you did wrong, and everybody's different. And one of the things that really strikes me, the Down syndrome thing. So I used to say really horrible things about Down syndrome and about like other mental disabilities in that capacity, because I didn't understand them. And then my nephew was born and he has Down syndrome. And that was like a life-changing moment, interacting with him and realizing that like he was born to my husband's sister, and they have a lot of money. They do very well. So he gets a lot of extra education, and because of his mental and physical the differences, the things that he needs that aren't given to you like in a normal like school setting. If you have a mental disorder, whether it's ADHD or Down syndrome, they really focus on helping him through a lot of that. And because of that, he's growing into someone that is not somebody that that when people use the word Down syndrome in a negative way, they don't imagine people being able to grow up with Down syndrome that excel as much as he does, because we put them in a category by using like the R word and by talking about people with mental disabilities like they're deficient. We make them deficient. If you tell somebody they're stupid, then they're going to be stupid because you're going to make them believe that they are stupid. And it's not fair. It's not fair that people with disabilities have this disadvantage because people don't understand their disability, one, and two, because it's really expensive to have a disability and try to take care of it, because the world is not made to be accessible. It's not accommodating in any capacity. School is not accommodating. I did really poorly in school. People always told me I was stupid. When I decided not to go to college, my family was all like really sad, and they thought that I was like wasting my life because I was a moron, because I got bad grades and never did homework. But then I got into the IT field and I started to excel in IT, and they never even saw it coming, and it made them change their perspective. But that was because of like meeting my husband when I was 21, and him building me up and stuff. Like being talked to like you're intelligent is such a, it shouldn't be something that is like rare and that you can only find certain people to do that for you. Like everyone should talk to you respectfully, and everyone should recognize that even if you say like walk a mile in my shoes, like you'll never be able to walk a mile in anybody's shoes. I'll never know exactly what somebody feels like. The best I can do is listen to them. And that's all it takes. Not putting somebody in a specific category, not assuming somebody is anything without knowing who they are. I think in order to get better at that, we all have to acknowledge that somewhere in our lives we're doing that even today. But if you have the desire to want to find all those places where you're fucking things up, then I think that can help you become the best version of yourself that you can, while helping other people become the best versions of themselves that they can be.
Yeah. And you're not going to be as long as you're trying to get better and be better you. That's all that people need. That's all you need to do. And understand that people are trying to do the better they are, and move forward with that. We do have one last question though, and this comes from Jordo. This is going to be very off topic, and it's going to seem very rude because Jordo's a very rude person. So I'm just going to say that right now.
I'm ready. Let's do
it. Hold on. Where is it? Hold on. Where is it? Questions.
Jordo.
Okay. What is your least favorite CRGR member, and why is it Chris? So, yeah. Sorry, Jordo. I'm just throwing you under the bus. You don't have to answer.
I don't have a least favorite. I don't. Yeah. Not at all. But let's see. I don't know. So I talked to Chris and Mike the most. So I guess I maybe accidentally have favorites. But it's not because I don't want to like everybody equally. It's because I maybe don't know you all as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, does that help?
That definitely answers it. Thank you. And we try to be as cool. Everyone in the game room was pretty much all understanding and equal on this. So yeah, I just wanted to throw it out there because Jordo asked that question, and I told everyone I would ask the question that they put in there. So
I will like you all equally as soon as I know you all equally. So just hang out with me all the time, or invite me to hang out all the time, and then it'll be good.
Hell yeah.
Anytime.
I don't want to play favorites, but Cheesy is a good name, and Ingledoom. And when I found out about how the other Ingledoom family members have similar names, and it's like this, that's hard. It's hard to beat that, you know?
Yeah.
That's good.
All right. So we're getting towards the end of it. Is there anything you want to say that you're doing coming up so that you can have people check you out? For one thing, check out her Twitch channel. Yeah, promote yourself.
Promote yourself.
Well, I like to play Phasmo a lot, so if people want to join my server and play Phasmo with me, that would make me so happy. I am going to start doing more horror games coming up soon. I'm not exactly sure when, because I have a whole bunch of weird little projects I'm working on, because I have ADHD and I like to be doing a bunch of things at once. I don't know why. It's not healthy. Don't encourage it, but I am doing it. Follow me on Twitter, but I'm kind of a thirsty... Yeah, on Twitter. It's fake. It's a personality, but feel free to go along with it because it's fun for me.
Yeah.
What else? What else is there? I don't know. That's it. That's the entire. That's my entire personality.
That's fair. That's fair. And the thing I can say about Seasalt, just getting to know her, she's a very understanding, kind, caring person. And if you want to take time just to hang out with her, I recommend checking out her Twitch, getting into her Discord. She's very interactive with everyone on her Discord. And I mean, if you want to have a good time and enjoy someone possibly getting scared, but also just having fun, just genuinely having fun, check her out on Twitch. So I recommend that.
Do it. Let's hang out.
And real quick, Ronathan just pointed out that if you have any questions about Down syndrome or people with autism or other special needs questions, he can be a resource to understanding. I believe he does something with that, right? Like
he's a teacher for at church and all that. He's with a church and also teacher.
Ronathan has such a good heart, man.
Yeah,
such a good dude.
That would be awesome.
Behavioral therapist. Yeah.
Ronathan, join my Discord server. Come hang out with me. I do want to talk about that stuff. So I want to be better on all facets of my life, and there are a lot of things I don't understand about Down syndrome that I would like to understand better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did put your Discord in there, so if anyone wants to jump on your Discord, it's there. There's also a Discord for your you see, what is that? The Scaredy crew.
Scared crew.
Yeah, you put that as the Discord. Yeah, you put that in our Discord as the place you wanted to put on there. I'm gonna put your regular Discord in there so people can check you out there also.
Thank you.
No problem.
I try to advertise for my people before myself.
Yeah, all good, all good. All right, so you guys got Mike, Rob. You guys got anything else?
No. Thank you so much, Seasalt, for coming on and hanging out with us tonight. I think you're an amazing streamer. Awesome person all the way around. So thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Look forward to hanging out with you in the future.
Thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here. You guys are awesome.
All right, let's see who we're gonna.
And while you're doing that, just like thank you for coming on and sharing your experience and talking about that and just sharing it with the community. People need to talk about these things. These are hard things to talk about, and it needs to be out there in the open because if it's not, nothing ever changes. So yeah, I think it's very important to have those conversations.
Sunlight is the great disinfectant. So
I try to talk about as much as I can. You know,
oh, yeah. People
deserve to know about as much as they deserve to be known about.
Absolutely.
Anytime, let us know, Mr. Wrong.
Absolutely. And we're gonna get everyone over to the Gaming Avengers. They're doing the Optimus Metroid test. So
Metroid challenge. There we go.
The Metroid challenge. So be sure to, when you get in there, everybody, make sure you throw them Daddy Smurfs in chat. All right. I want to see at least 3 or 4 lines from every person. All right.
Let them know Large Marge sent you.
Yeah. All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Be safe, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Awkward time. All right.
Awkward time.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
I like Jazzy Mel because they keep saying nice stuff to me.
Jazzy Mel's a sweetheart.
And we're out. Oh, man.
She's sweet. She's like an annoying little sister for me.
Aww.
Yeah.
I